Okay. Go ahead. I did the first one.
Welcome to Space Reserved. Thanks for coming back. We're
hmm
re-recording because of technical difficulties, but here we are.
Here we are, episode 14. Um, like we said, I feel like because we've already said this, I'm going crazy because I'm repeating myself. But we're going to talk about Love Island and housewarmings and maybe some other things, but it's
Yeah.
summertime. So
Yep.
the culture is slow.
Yeah, even though it's literally storming right now, it is summer for me.
It's also summer for me. I got sunburned for the first time this summer yesterday, but it's not bad. But I think I'm like a little bit red.
Yikes.
It's okay. It's part of it.
Well,
Well, okay. Let's talk about Love Island again. We'll get
so
into it.
I love how you're saying again. There's
Again.
nobody that's gonna know. No one's gonna. You're like I said, no one knows what you said to begin with.
You know. Okay. Sorry.
Right.
I'll lock in to the performance.
We only talked for like 10 minutes, so it's like, okay.
You're
We're
right.
not recording
Okay.
the whole entire
Let's
thing.
talk about Love Island.
Thank you.
hmm
First, we literally congratulated Trinity and Brycey last week. It felt like last year. I swear to God, last week. Um, like I said, I didn't vote.
No.
I mean, I didn't vote because I was just so exhausted with this whole entire season, so I abstained from voting. Bryce and Trinity won anyways. There was a chance that I would have voted for Anaya and Carl. Not because I think that they're more authentic or anything, but just because I really, really like Carl and I like him for Anaya, and I think that he helps her anxious mind and hopefully
hmm
can help like her people pleasing and also try to like bring logic into the situation, which I talked about last week. And I think there are parts of Anaya and the way that people are mad at her, some of the like people pleasing things that she's done or like things that she's done when she's insecure, that has annoyed people, including me. I think that I need to be more compassionate with her because I feel like I probably have done similar things in the past. And it made me think, like, someone commented on one of our posts on Instagram being like they're confused why, people don't like Anaya or are like annoyed with her because she's like a 25-year-old that would like obviously make mistakes like this and like think that she's right. Like she would like be insecure and like do stuff like interrupt Casey and Soul's conversation because she's like insecure and upset. Like, of course she would do that because she's like 24 or 25 or something like that. And it's like, you know what? I do need to be more compassionate because not at 25, but like at 20, I was doing things
Yeah.
during study abroad where if I was being filmed, I would come out of study abroad and people would like want my head on a stick.
Yeah.
Not because I did something problematic, but because I disrespected myself
Yeah.
by letting other people disrespect the fuck out of me.
Yeah.
So, for those reasons, I think I would have wanted Anaya and Carl to win, but it was like, but by barely. Like, it's not even, like, if Bryce and Trinity won, and they did, I'm
Right.
totally happy with that. I'm so obsessed, and I hope that they are happy for as long as they want to be happy. And I
Yeah.
hope it seems like Bryce had like, a job where he clearly has to work paycheck to paycheck. And Trinity, like, I think worked at like Ace Hardware or something. So like clearly another like paycheck to paycheck person. So I'm glad that they won because they get some money out of this and probably like more money ahead. And we
Yeah.
obviously need money to survive in this day and age. So I'm happy.
Yeah.
Versus like Anaya and Carl, who like we can make our assumptions about their pockets. You know what I mean?
A little bit of generational something going on.
Yeah. So, yeah.
Yeah. I love whenever I see Trinity and Bryce. I just feel like they are so cute. And the more I like watch Bryce, also like with his mom and grandma, I think I was like, and then his brother, like his gay brother.
Period.
I'm obsessed. Like, I don't know. I'm just like, okay, this is a really good guy. I do hope they stay together. Like, I hope they stay together like at least a year. I think they could do a year.
Yeah.
I think we'll see Trinity and Bryce next year at Coachella still together.
They would turn Coachella out. You know, yeah, I think that could be cute. I don't know if I am like, I don't think I would wear Trinity's clothes on me, but I like her vibe and like what she's going for. And it reminds me of like in the last episode, Zach was talking about like what, like, would you have like Trinity stay for like a couple weeks and then like go back home or whatever? And Bryce was like, no, she can stay for however long she wants to stay. Like, she can come and leave. Like, she can like do whatever. And I was
that's
like,
my girlfriend. We're like
no.
planning on being together, and like she can live with me.
That type of like dialogue and language. Oh, Trinity, yeah. Congratulations. Like, yeah. Like, she could stay however long she wants to stay. Right.
And that's like such. It was so funny when I like recognize this difference in men I was dating when I was like in my early 20s, like the difference between the guys who were like, no, we can be together, but like I'm not gonna take this like I'm never gonna treat you like a serious partner, like the way that Zach I think would. Like there's like we've talked about in the past, like commitment issues and everything obviously on his end, whereas Bryce is like, no, like this is my girlfriend. I want to build a future with her. Like, I'm not in this just to like have fun.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, like obviously she can stay how long she wants because like this is my partner, and like what the hell?
Yeah.
Like, also we've lived in this fucking villa for like 2 months at this point. Like it's not gonna, it's like that's the weirdest shit that we're gonna have to go through as a couple, probably.
Right. And I feel like that's the other thing is like I so often when I watch Love Island don't calculate the amount of time that they are spending together. Like when in the finale, when Trinity and Bryce said I love you to each other, I was like, that feels kind of soon. But then I thought, okay, so when I said I loved my ex-boyfriend, we 100% have spent less time together than Trinity and Bryce. Like I like where they're going. I like where they're going.
Yeah, me too. And yeah, I love their families.
Yeah.
I loved Bryce's grandma, all the clips I saw of her.
Yeah. She was kind of everything. And she wanted them in the hideaway, and I don't know how the fuck they didn't get into the hideaway. Why was the hideaway only open twice? And the second time went to can I say, I know this is a podcast where we're supposed to like talk about everything. Please don't make me talk about the S word.
I won't talk about it if you don't want to.
I don't know how the fuck they got into the finale. I know it's because they like Melanie.
Set her
All
free.
I'll say is that when they had their final date, they had to get a massage. There was only one table, so they had to give each other a massage. Sincere suggested that they rock, paper, scissors for who gives who the massage. After all he's fucking done in this goddamn house, you're gonna rock, paper, scissors this bitch for who's gonna massage who? That's all I have to say about him and Melanie.
That is so beyond insane, like sociopathic.
He makes me feel psychotic from like the fact that I have had to see him every single episode since the first week of June. I'm fucking pissed. I'm pissed off. The way that, and he acts like he has learned his lesson. The way that he has behaved is so psychologically embedded. There's no way that he has not been acting like this since elementary school, the way that he acts. So if you think that like by just this behavior, you can like change, I don't believe that. And I'm tired of seeing you on my screen.
There is a universe somewhere in the multiverse where Sincere goes home like the first time they send people home and Sean stays all the way.
Well, no, we can't have that. We can't have that because then I have to be faced with the fact that he's a dad and he's also like a cop or former whatever the fuck.
Unemployed.
Oh, right. So, like, I think, like, we talked about this a couple episodes ago. Like, it's good that he left the time that he did so that I didn't have to actually contemplate what he had to offer and the fact that I didn't want what he had.
Right. Better to just be better to be mad at Sincere than have to deal with that, to be honest.
Fine.
I guess.
Because I can fast forward, and I did. There got to a point last week where I told everybody I'm not watching any more Sincere clips. So the stuff that I know is from like clips from Instagram.
Even on Instagram, the clips of him actually talking, I can't watch. What I love are all the women doing their Sincere impressions.
Yes.
Wow.
And they're so accurate as well. That's so interesting.
Isn't it just?
Yeah. So, I, like, whoever has watched Love Island USA and has watched the way that Sincere has acted and does not like it, I hope you can understand that, like, I physically, like, if I start talking about him, I think I will just be, like, emotionally fucking dysregulated for the rest of the episode. I can't. Know that I dislike him so great and so deep that I don't believe anything that he has to say, and I hope that I never have to see him on my phone ever again. I'm gonna have to block him. So,
absolutely.
Yeah, I did love Melanie's sister being like, he's playing you, blah, 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 like all of that.
She was so great.
I think I almost started crying the way that she was like talking to Melanie. But of course Melanie didn't listen because sometimes you have to learn lessons on your own.
I mean, wasn't it even Sincere's family that was like, why are you acting like this?
The issue with Sincere's family was they were focused so much on like him not exploring in the right way. They weren't focused on the fact that he was like compulsively lying. And so I didn't like that. But yeah.
Right. Anyway, therapy would be like super helpful, but I don't even know if this is fixable.
No, I think that it is fixable. I think that it is fixable, but he has to understand that like you can't just unlearn some shit because you're embarrassed and like you've been screamed at enough times and your dad came and like gave you a whooping. Like you actually have to know that you have to go into therapy because you are lying and it feels out of your control.
Yeah.
So, and like all of the men, remember I said this like weeks ago, Corbin needs to have like forced therapy. Like all of these men need to go and have like not a life coach, an actual like psychologist, a professional with a license that can help you untangle whatever the fuck is wrong with you.
Yeah. And to whoever that psychologist is, good luck.
Good luck, especially with the likes of Sincere, because he could actively be lying to you and you would have no idea. So good luck with that one.
That must be so crazy for therapists. I never really thought about that if you have like a pathological liar as a client.
Yeah. You probably have to ask a lot of questions.
Yeah. Have you ever watched couples therapy?
Yes.
I feel like I love when Dr. Orna like figures out that she's dealing with a pathological liar. I feel like that's happened before.
Yes.
And Dr. Orna. Wow.
Right. She is everything. She is from Israel. but she's also everything.
Isn't she like kind of pro-Palestine though?
I hope so. I've never looked it up because I'm scared. So
I think she is.
good.
Because I need her to be because I love.
So, but no, yeah. If she had to untangle that for all four of them, that would be everything.
Wait a second. They need to do that. They need to get Dr. Orna in with these couples.
If they do couples therapy on couples therapy, girl, no, actually, I'm not kidding. I would get a Showtime subscription.
Wait, that's such a good idea though. Like people would really watch that. Just a couple of like sessions with each of the Love Island finalist couples to be like, how's it going after the villa?
Especially obviously with the guys that are like really scary, but even with people like Anaya and Carl, because we haven't gotten to like, they cut out whenever Carl like shows more of his personality because he's kind of low-key sorry there for Anaya. Like he was there to save the day for Anaya, or he's there to like be a listening ear for Dylan when he's like not being psychopathic. Dylan scares me, but anyway. So I feel like that would be really interesting to like know more about what Carl's thinking and like what his issues are, because he is a Cancer and so I know he has issues.
Well, his issue is that he came onto this show, immediately wanted to be with Anaya, got rejected, then came back on and was her knight in shining armor. Like that's so Cancer man of him. But now he has to deal with being her partner and not just her knight in shining armor, and what does that look like? Because is he always going to want to save the day? And that's also not good.
All that too, and also just like figuring out, because I think when you're in a scenario like that, you can easily like trick yourself into like being okay with stuff. Yeah. And stuff like that. So like figuring out how he really feels about everything would be so, how everyone really feels about everything would be so interesting to unpack. Also, I'm sure there are things that like completely got cut out that we just didn't see that like could have been really important information to know. Yeah. But yeah, but also like even him being a Cancer man, like being like a mama's boy, like I'm sure that's very interesting and will be interesting in the couple. I'm sure being potentially like manipulative, I'm sure that would be interesting to unpack.
I feel like they should get Dr. Orna in there at like the 3-month and the 6-month mark. Like right after 3 months and 6 months.
And the thing about it is not that like Love Island gives a fuck about people stay together, but like if they do get couples therapy, I'm sure the likelihood of them staying together like skyrockets. Yeah. So, I don't know.
I'm just saying that someone needs to pay us for this idea because I think it's genius.
No, I can facilitate. Let me call Carl. No. Sorry. You're going to have to call him. I can't do it.
No.
I'm gonna try to weasel my way in there, and so I can't.
I don't think Dr. Orna would like that very much.
Exactly, so I actually cannot be involved.
Right. I'll give him a call then.
I'll handle Sincere. He won't even show up to the because he got disappeared. Yeah. Anyway.
I'm gonna get blocked by YouTube.
Cut that out.
We just can't make a clip of it.
Yeah. Thank you.
Amazing.
I didn't even say anything. What did I say? I did say he would be disappeared, but what does that even mean if you really think about it?
None of my business.
Fine. Right. Anyway. So yeah, Love Island. The reunion is in a month and a half. And then we will finally be free because I don't watch Love Island games. If that's happening this year, I'm not watching that. I don't care. So yeah.
Nice. Well, it's really been a season, but I'm happy with the winners. At least there's that.
Me too. I'm also happy with the final four. I'm not happy with, but with the top two, I am very happy with. And I'm so glad that Trinity and Brycey got their money and they're in love, and You know, the only thing is that she's 22 and he's 30, but I'm gonna actively forget it. Forget that I say it. Let's all go under a trance and forget that I just said that.
Right.
Thank you.
Well, you know, I just finished reading my book where there was a 20-year age gap. So, as a hater of age gap romance.
Right, so you're pro Aaron Taylor Johnson and his wife.
Okay, well, don't put words in my mouth.
So
You
what are
know
you
I hate
saying?
them so much.
So what are you saying?
What I'm saying is the way that this book was written really made it obvious that this is not something that should happen in reality, but is a fantasy to explore power dynamics.
And what's the name of this book?
It's called Games, a Love Story.
Hmm.
It's really good. It's really interesting. It's really interesting. There's like a lot of philosophy in it in a way that's like a little bit annoying and like pretentious, but it's like two economists. Is he a neoliberal capitalist and probably the CEO of the BlackRock equivalent? It's called Black River.
Okay.
Yeah. Is she a 20, she turns 23 early on,
Love
year
it.
old grad student who's doing a master's in economics and who's like a socialist. Yeah.
How the fuck do no, sorry. Because I'm not trying to shit on your book, and if you say it's good, then I believe
No,
you.
no, no. I need to hear this.
It's just I don't know because I didn't read it, but it's just annoying that you would like. It annoys me when people go against like their own like moral code
Absolutely.
to like fuck somebody,
Absolutely.
but it's not even real. So
No, but I like when I first heard the premise, I was like, I don't want to read this because this used to be me. I used to do this because I thought I could change people's minds and I thought there was something like kind of like hot and sexy about like the discourse. And then
yeah,
I obviously came to the realization like, oh, actually like you don't view human beings as human beings. You know, like you have a hierarchy of which human beings deserve certain rights, and that's simply not how I live my life. So that did really bother me, and I will say that the book is very, this is going to make me sound like an annoying European, but it's very American, and the obviously and the point of view feels very American, and like these two characters have conversations about their politics. And the only reason I'm kind of letting it slide is because basically the guy is like he was a teenager during the fall of the wall in Russia, like post-Soviet, escaped from Russia in like 19 or like left Russia in 1993, and a lot of his trauma is related to what he perceives as like socialist state shit. And she kind of had to be like, I think you're seeing that wrong. Like, I actually think that people deserve a safety net. And, like, you shouldn't be scared of that. And, like, her own politics are also based in, like, her trauma as, like, someone who is in the foster care system. Of course, mommy and daddy issues. Because why not? And so it was kind of like, okay, as they're discussing their politics, they're also learning about each other and like each other's past and each other's history, which is really interesting. Um, but yeah, I thought it was like I thought it was good only because me trying to justify this story, this age gap with a fucking conservative male hero. Anyway, I felt like it was also the author who is of Russian descent herself almost trying to like hold these two narratives that she has been told as like a person of Russian descent and also like a progressive person living in New York City. Like, how can I hold these two and like how do they fit together and like these are the two narratives that I engage with, and I'm not sure which parts of which ones I actually believe in or actually like. And so in these conversations between these two characters, she's like figuring that out. And yeah, anyway, it's interesting.
I'm sure it's good because obviously you've sent me a million fanfics and they're all good. So,
Right, well, thank you.
yes.
But I do hate the idea of romanticizing like a fucking capitalist pig.
Who's old as hell, no shade.
45. But my fan cast for him for the movie is Theo James. And I do think that's fair.
Now we're cooking with grease. Yeah. No, he's everything.
And he's supposed to be Russian, but I think Theo James just has that look. Oh, and she's also of Middle Eastern descent. Like her mom's from Beirut. So she also has that history of like the US is like you see the US and capitalism as like a liberator, and I see them because of my past as like perpetrators of like violence in a colonial imperial project.
Yeah.
So that's also interesting, I thought. I think it's always fun when like romance like deals with these conversations, you know, but I think it has to be done well. Otherwise it just feels like icky.
Indeed.
So
yeah.
Anyway, just to go off the age gap of it all.
Yeah. Well, hopefully, I mean, I suppose I could potentially see myself reading it. But if I get pissed off, yeah.
Exactly. If you get pissed off, you don't have to read it. Yeah.
Right. I'm screaming. Yeah. Period. Well,
anyway, you had a housewarming party.
yes, I had a housewarming. The foldable like lawn chairs are behind me, and then I put pictures from my photo album up on the wall. I moved into this apartment March 1st. That being said, I just like I didn't like the way that I had it set up, and I still don't. Like I still want curtains and like pictures in my frames and stuff, but I was like, my birthday's literally in a couple days, so let's have like a birthday / housewarming thing. And so I made like a cheese board, and I was like, everybody bring something so we can have like a potluck, and it was delicious.
That's so fun.
Yeah, so that was really nice. And then one of my friends who you might have met, I'm not sure, but we have the same birthday, so we whenever I invite him to my birthday, I'm always like, it's also his birthday, and so they sung both of us happy birthday.
Aww.
So yeah, so it was nice. And then for my actual birthday, which is on Tuesday when this episode comes out, I think me and my mom are just gonna hang out because no one else is free, and also like she was there like when I was born, so like technically it's like, you know, both of our days. And then afterwards I'm just gonna like play video games with Lydia after work, after she gets off work. That
sounds like the perfect birthday.
Yeah. So I feel like usually I like to do something, so this is like much more low-key than like going on vacation or something, but I'm tired.
That was me too this year.
Yeah. So
fair. And that housewarming sounds like so girl in her like mid-late 20s in the city, good friends. I don't know.
Yeah.
It's giving good vibes.
Yeah, it was nice. I forget that like for birthdays, your friends will just do whatever you tell them to do.
Yeah.
But I got too scared, and so I just like, well, let's just like talk. So we just like talked for a few hours, but I was like, honestly, if I would have asked them to like play a board game, they probably would have done it, because I didn't actually want to do that.
What board game did you want to play?
They played Hues and Cues while I was getting the food ready, so I didn't play. If anyone knows Hues and Cues, you know Hues and Cues?
No.
It's It's just a game with like a bunch of squares, and each square is a different color. And it's like, in like a rainbow setting. And then you pick up a card, you choose a
Oh,
color, and then
yeah.
you like describe it.
Mm-hmm.
And people
Mm-hmm.
have to guess. Or I have Clue, and that would have been T.
Clue is so fun.
I know, I know. I should have like a board game night. I really haven't like taken advantage of the fact that like I moved into the city because I just felt like my place hasn't been the way that I want it yet. But no, I actually have to like do more shit. I would love to have like a Clue night and force everybody to play Clue.
I feel
So
like
yeah,
people want that. Like people want fun things to do.
I know. So I should like figure that out.
But I
So
know what you mean about not feeling. Like I actually never had a housewarming in my apartment because it took so long to just like get it to a place.
like yeah. So
Hmm.
I feel like once I was like, if I get a couch, then I'll do it. But then I was like, no, I need to get a couch and get a rug and get curtains and put stuff on the wall. And it's like, girl, let's just have the housewarming before it's like my lease about to be up. Like, you know what I mean? So,
Yeah.
yeah. So yeah, so that was fun, and I have a lot of food left over, so mostly cheese. But
Delicious.
I'm excited. So yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
Any like thoughts going into 29?
Um about like what? Like in terms
Just
of like
like
what category?
just like tomorrow you're turning 29. What's coming up?
The things that are coming up like emotionally?
Mm-hmm.
The things that are coming up for me are like I'm about to be 29. I've only had one boyfriend. Like we're about to like hit the late bloomer episode. We're about to run that one back. I've only had one boyfriend, and that only lasted 2 months. Like I'm about to be 30 and have like barely had sex. Like I'm about to like I'm kind of having like those thoughts a little
Okay.
bit. So we're literally like circling the late bloomer episode block, but that's like the first thing that comes to mind. But I am happy to be like 29. Like I said, like I think like my late 20s feel so much better than like any other year I've experienced so far.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm excited. I'm not like upset about turning 29 or anything, but um yeah, I'm I'm excited for like my health journey to improve
Yeah.
so that I can actually like get to it. No, like not to sound crass, but
No,
yeah.
for sure.
So yeah, those are like
Nice.
my first thoughts that come to my brain. But I'm excited. I'm in my Fast and Furious shirt. I just saw
I
the bald
love
head
that
in my
shirt.
own screen. Yeah. Um, whatever his name is, Vince Diesel, Vin Diesel,
Mm-hmm.
and like multiple pictures of Paul, whatever his last name is. What's his last name?
Walker.
Paul Walker. Yes, thank you. So, anyway, and I got my nails done. Yay!
Looks so good.
So, yeah,
Nice.
another year older. Crazy. But, yeah. Yeah.
Hmm.
So, we'll see how this year goes. I'm excited. I hope that um I'm looking towards potentially going back to school, and I hope that that pans out because
It's
that would
going
be
to.
happening. Yeah, because in a year, I would have, if I apply in January, then that means a year from now, I will be packing my shit to figure out. Yeah, so we'll see. A lot of things happening.
It's gonna be so fun. I can't wait for you to go back to school.
Yeah, me too. Honestly, me saying me too, like the concept of school is so like it's a lot, but at the same time I do think that I'm ready to go back to school. Even though I know that like so many people are like, if you ever hear me say I'm gonna get my master's, 5150 my ass. But like and like kinda, but like I do think that like this is kind of the only avenue. So,
I would tell anyone to go get a master's degree. So that's
well, shit.
that's what I'm gonna say. It was so fun for me, but I love school.
Yeah. So,
But like it's also just like I love the social aspect of school, and I loved that
yeah.
in my bachelor's and I loved it in my master's. Like I got here and it was like, oh, I moved to a new country, but I have a built-in social circle because there's other international students here and we are all interested in the same thing and not just like we're at, I don't know, college. We're not just all interested in going to college. It's like we all want to study sustainability. So like already the baseline is we have similar interests in that and like
Yeah.
similar values. And then it was
Yeah.
like sick.
Yeah. Yeah, that's always good. And then you have like people that live near you as well, like if you want to hang out and stuff. Like I do miss that. Um, yeah, and I think that not just like start talking about school, but like I do think that like my senior thesis, I've been thinking about this, like my senior thesis in college was like art history obviously, but it was like race related, and the way that like having to do research on that stressed me out because it was like both talking about like art history but also talking about like deeply like triggering things. I think when I go back to school, I want to talk about something that is slightly more lighthearted and like actually like deeply research something that stresses me out in terms of like trying to get the resources together but doesn't stress me out because it's like reminding me of like how awful life can be. So
Yeah.
yeah.
I always think that with like people who, yeah, study race or gender or like genocide studies or whatever, that like internalizing that on the daily and having to like think about that critically constantly is so taxing. I don't know, like
Yeah.
one of my friends, he's doing his PhD on like the colonial roots of Dutch jazz music, but like then has to think about colonization
Yeah.
and like specifically like Dutch colonization and like the Surinamese, the colonization of Suriname all the time. And I'm like, that must be so crazy.
Yeah.
I don't know. So I
Hmm.
get that.
Yeah.
It would be nice to study something. Do you know kind of what would be the lighthearted thing or
Kind of, but I haven't done like deep. This is like so like surface level, but there's this girl that does um Instagrams about, she has like a master's in history, modern history. Um and she goes on Instagram and does like cute studies. Like
hmm.
there's different resources of people that like study like the concept of like cute and like aesthetics and like the things that Japan is kind of like going towards now, which
Mm-hmm.
is a whole other story. Like that's so interesting how like they went from like, anyway. So
Yeah.
I think that type of stuff is interesting, like the girly like feminine things, because that feels under researched, which could be something that I could obviously do. And she also talks about like the history of color and how like what color means to people now meant something different. Like color was a way to like describe things in a different way in the past than it is now. Like maybe, and also in different cultures, like red means something here but it means something totally different in like India or something. Like I like that type of stuff. So I guess like a mix of like history and art, but without it being like the classic art history stuff. I'm not doing that.
Yeah, it sounds like modern history with a focus on art and aesthetics. Or like
Yeah.
history with a focus on art and aesthetics.
Yeah, I'm
That's so
totally down
cool.
to do like history because obviously that's the same as art history, except for obviously it's like much broader. But yeah.
Yeah. And you'll find a program that like has those specializations.
Yeah.
I think history, that was like my double major at Agnes, and is so cool and fun. Like I follow this girl also who did her PhD on like hospitality in like early modern England. And that's
Mm-hmm.
so fun. Like you're
Yeah.
literally just reading archives all day about like someone who went to this inn and like the experience of being at an inn and then like diving into that.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I love that.
Me too. There's also this, I don't know if I've mentioned her before, but Avery Trufelman, she has a podcast called Articles of Interest. She's everything. She's everything.
Wait, I don't listen to this. I
I
need to
don't know if
find
she
it.
uploads as much as she used to. I think she's like making a book now, so she like isn't uploading as much as she used to. But she every episode is like something different. Like she had like a 6-part episode on like the preppy style and like where it
Ooh.
originated from and all of that, and that was so interesting because even like no one thinks about how like or no one I don't think about how suits are like made up. Like I don't know, like we just said that that is like the preppy professional,
Right.
like we just kind of like we made that up. And how it has like origins in like going like the Ivy League and all of that. Like that's really cool. And then she had a whole episode about like clothes in general and how we only started wearing clothes because of like the change in temperature and stuff, and then when it was hot we wouldn't wear clothes, and there was a transition between like wearing clothes sometimes to wearing them all the time, and how like shame came after clothes, like we weren't ashamed and then we put on clothes first and then we became ashamed of like taking them off, which is also
Ooh,
really interesting. Like that type of like that's like fashion history, but still like that type of
that's
stuff is
so
really
cool.
interesting. Yeah. And she had like an episode on like the Hawaiian shirt. She had an episode on like perfume and how like only recently perfume has become like clean smelling and like fresh smelling, when like in the past there were perfumes of like smelling like cigarettes. Like there were like more like there was a wider variety of what you could smell like, but now it's basically the same.
Yeah.
So it's just really like that type of stuff is really interesting. So it would be nice to like in that sort of realm do research on that, and hopefully like tie in a way where it like I feel like I've made a difference in the world or like in research or something. That would be
Yeah, and
nice.
like how people think about and see something.
Yeah.
Like that's so cool.
Mm-hmm.
I will say I think I'm like a little bit um not pessimistic. I don't know if that's the right word, because I also went into my current field of study because I was like I want to change things and I want to incite change, and
Right.
it's just not how that works. So, like, I don't know, I do think there's like we hold this idea of like, okay, how is this like societally relevant and how can this affect change? But I also think sometimes just like knowing something is important and there being knowledge on something, like I have to keep telling myself that, because
Yeah.
it's like, okay, I'm not gonna no one's no one right now is actually going to use my research to like really make a huge change. But it's like new knowledge, and that's also important. Like just having new knowledge is
Yeah.
helpful.
I
I
think
don't
that's
know.
important. I guess that's a good point to like manage expectations. Absolutely. So thank you for that.
Well, no, I
Um,
mean,
I mean, it's
I think
true.
I went into my field because I was like, I like all these different things, but I'm gonna do something that I think is like so relevant and like so like um yeah, like policy relevant and relevant for business, and then it's like no one actually wants it. So thank you.
Right. Well,
So that's
but no.
awesome.
Yeah,
But
new
I
knowledge
maybe
is good. I mean, yeah, I guess it's just a reminder that making a change probably will not come through like academia, no shade. Like making a change will
no.
probably come through like more grassrooty, like actually getting out there sort of thing. Yeah. That's a good
Yeah.
reminder for me. And also I think it's like going back to something that we've mentioned before, like how in the past women and other like varieties of people have not been able to do the things that we're doing now. So
Yeah.
like even if you're not making a change, I guess if I want to go back to school, like, it's really big to be able to study something that I want to,
Yeah.
and not just like what I feel like I have to or anything like that. So,
We might have to cut this out. I'll think about this. I have an enemy. I have an enemy, a nemesis, an arch rival, not a rival. A rivalry requires two people to really. Anyway, he is like the number 2 or number 3 scholar in my field. I have very many feelings, some mostly negative towards him. He is so annoying to me. His papers are annoying to me, the way he writes. He's like a pro-growth sustainability expert who's like works for McKinsey most of the time. So it's interesting, and he's on my mind because he has this journal that he started, and he uses AI to do all of their to do all of their visuals. So like every time I open LinkedIn, there's like an AI slop image of like his journal kind of anthropomorphized with like random shit around it. And it angers me so much every time because also everyone's just liking the picture and not saying anything about the fact that this fucking sustainability journal is using AI to make ugly ass graphics.
right.
So I'm annoyed. And then
Right.
today they announced like one of the new editors who's someone who works in my department, and they, I guess, fed her image into AI to make a graphic, and it was like an uncanny valley kind of like image of her. And once again, no one said anything.
Damn.
And this got. Anyway. So then I was like, I'm in this fucking field where like one of the top scholars is literally using like gallons and gallons of water from like data centers to make ugly graphics. So at
Like,
least I'm like not actively harming things,
yeah.
in that way.
Yeah. Ew.
That's my nemesis.
I hate that.
We can leave this in. Ruining chances of any future career.
Period.
But do I want it if it's with him?
Right.
No. And
I
I
mean,
didn't name
if-
names.
Period. I will, since so I can be just like you, so you're not the only one talking about your arch nemesis. My arch nemesis is David Blaine, and I will name names.
Let's talk about it.
He's a freak. And it's not because of the magic. Everybody, it's not because of the magic. It's because he has a vibe and an aura to him that is so fucking off-putting and strange. And then for like the Me Too movement to happen and me to find out that he has allegations, always trust your gut, ladies. I knew he was a fucking strange ass motherfucker. And ever since, even before that, obviously, he was my number one enemy.
God, I'm looking at a picture of him and it's giving me the fucking creeps.
No, he allegedly is a fucking weirdo. So fuck him.
Now I'm gonna name another man who recently I've said out loud in multiple spaces, like, I want to punch him in the face. He annoys me. And we're talking about England's star player, Harry Kane. Not Jude Bellingham.
Okay,
I
I was
love
like-
him down. I love him so much. The only reason I'm comfortable cheering for England in this next match is because I love Jude Bellingham, and I think, oh, you're cheering for Argentina.
Well, I'm not cheering for... I'm bowing out.
Not
I'm
even
bowing
for
out.
Jude.
No, I really can't. England is really not my tea.
That's super fair. I hate Harry Kane. Like, every time I see his face pop up on my screen, it pisses me off. He
Yeah.
has the most punchable face. I know he's annoying. I just know he's annoying.
Surely.
That's all I have to say.
I love that. Well,
But not Mr. Jude.
if you have an arch nemesis that is a man, think about that. Let us know.
Right. I'm wondering if I have any other ones.
I do.
Surely.
I have a list that I always keep in the back of my brain just in case anyone ever asks, and they never do. But David Blaine's number one, obviously. Number two, Drake. And I hated him before it was cool to hate him because he's a Scorpio, evil weirdo that treats women like shit.
Yeah.
And then number 3 and 4 are the Safdie brothers, only because they make me feel uncomfortable because the stuff that they make. Like, I'm never gonna watch Uncut Gems because I'm terrified. Okay, but I watch Good Time with Robert Pattinson. Oh, y'all are crazy. Y'all were crazy for that.
The Safdie brothers to me are like the warriors of the Coen brothers. Like, to
Who are
me,
the Coen brothers?
The Coen brothers are the directors who made like Fargo and The Ballad of Buster Scruggs, one of my favorite.
Who?
You know them. Brother, oh brother, where art thou?
Oh, okay, yeah.
I think is them.
Oh, I love that movie.
Am I right about that, or is it? Please tell me I didn't just make that up. It is. They did do that one.
Okay.
So, like, they're a pair of brothers who are making movies, and one of them is married to Frances McDormand, which I find to be slay.
Frances McDormand?
She was in 3 Billboards.
Oh my god! She's the main character?
Mm-hmm.
Period.
Anyway, so to me, the Safdie brothers are evil Coen brothers.
Sure.
And that's, in my head, how they work.
But yeah, so those are my top 4. I only choose niche ones because obviously the main ones are like they're my arch nemesis, like, you know what I mean. So
I don't keep this list. I need to because I often find them.
Yeah.
I mean, I actually think Cristiano Ronaldo is probably up there as well for me.
Duh. Let's not get into it.
Like, he's too obvious, I guess.
I know. I feel like him, Neymar, I feel like people don't think about like the evilness that Neymar has done. And then also like Lionel Messi because he's allegedly, never mind. But him too, for reasons that I won't say. I was about to make a joke that was gonna get us in trouble.
You can't.
So. Anyway, so yeah.
Oh, Chris Pratt, nemesis of mine.
Oh, sure.
But that's also obvious. Right. But I felt betrayed by him because I loved Parks and Rec so much.
I can never watch it again, and that is sad.
Yeah. He took that from us.
He really did.
What he did to Anna Faris? Can't believe that.
Yeah.
Anyway, anything else we have to talk about besides our nemeses?
Right. Did we want to like slap on a quick fangirling thing or no?
We could try. I mean, we can always come back to it too if we have more to say.
Okay.
I mean, I guess like it's good to talk about it since like that's kind of why we ended up here in the first place. Episode 14, we can go back to our roots of like starting this because we were obsessed with heated rivalry and re-entering a fangirl era.
Yeah.
It's different in your late 20s.
It is. Like, I'm actually, like, in your late 20s, you can kind of, like, look around and see the anxiety that this brings. Like, I think back in the older days, like, during, like, the K-pop days or, like, the One Direction days, I was, like, in the mania and the madness and did not realize that, like, there's so many parts of this that's, like, not fun. But now I'm like, oh, this isn't fun to, like, feel so intensely about somebody that I don't know. And it's not fun to, like, witness drama about stuff that, like, feels unnecessary about people that none of us know. So, like, yeah, it's definitely different.
It's Yeah, I don't know. It's like good in a way, right? Because I'm like, oh, like I felt insane for a bit there, but now I can kind of not be passive, but like, yeah, take a step back, still live my life, still be involved, still enjoy everything. But yeah, not every video that like an actor put, like it used to be back in the day, like if a new video or picture was posted, my heart is racing. My
Yep.
hands are shaking.
Yeah.
I can't believe it. And now it's like, okay, I that's no longer the reaction, which is awesome.
Yeah, I think that the best thing that like Hudson and Connor could ever do is like not go on like Facebook Live or TikTok Live or Instagram Live, like none of those. Because you remember like during the One Direction days when they used to like get on live at random points in time,
But when
and I
I'm
would have to
sad.
drop everything. I'm 14. I would have to drop everything and
No,
go and
literally.
watch them like talk about nothing.
Yeah.
Right.
And I do wonder because I sometimes I do get that pull still of like, oh, everyone's talking about this. So I feel like maybe the Met Gala was a little bit like that. I was like, I have to stay
Yeah.
up and watch because I don't want to go to bed and then like something crazy to happen and I'm not there at the moment
Yeah.
that it happens. But I'm not feeling like that right now anymore.
Me too. I'm
And also
glad.
like if it does coincide with like me actually living my life, I won't do it. Like I was like probably not a good friend at some points during the crazy One Direction and also like when I was so into like Harry Potter and Sherlock and Doctor Who and all that shit. Like because I'm like I'm going to prioritize my fan stuff over my friends
Yeah.
and I no longer do that. So,
Yeah. I think now like when I was feeling like super intense like December, January and February and I just felt like how do I undo like how the fuck do I get out of this? And so I'm glad to be on the other side of like not feeling crazy anymore because I have like a life to live. Like I
yeah.
loved what they did in that show and I cannot wait for season 2, but like I need to like do me.
Yeah. And also, I feel like now that we're so far away from the show airing, I can still engage with the story. As in, I read so much fan fiction, and I love that. But I don't need to, like, there's not like events happening for the show. They're not doing press for the show. They're not like, so it's kind of like,
Yeah.
okay, that's because maybe it is that I'm like more a fan of I mean, I'm a fan of Hudson and Connor for sure, like obviously, but I think I'm probably like more a fan of the content of the show and the books than I am of the actors, so I can be
Yeah.
liberated in this time
Yeah.
from some
Thank
of that.
God. Oh my
But
God,
yeah,
thank God.
like when the press for season 2 starts again, like I'm sure I'm gonna like have moments around that. But
For sure.
yeah.
No, I think that it's good that we are not like as intensely having FOMO about like what Connor and Hudson the people are doing because I know I would be stressed and if I was younger and this happened, oh I would it would be fucking great. It would be that whole like spring semester if I was in like high school would have been nuts. Would have been nuts. So,
I mean, even in college, like
yeah.
imagine that this happened in college and then like Connor was filming down the road in Decatur. Where how would we have been?
I would have been going psycho. I would have been going psycho. So I'm glad like I you know, I'm down to be in like the fandom or whatever because I kind of have to since like psychologically I'm there. But
Right.
in terms of like the drama or anything like that, I don't want to be involved or like what Hudson and Connor are doing outside of like that. Don't tell me unless it's like a fashion related thing, in which case tell me.
Precisely.
In which
Right.
case you have to tell me.
I love that though. Like that's so fun. I love kind of being their fan as a fashion fan as well. Like I find
Yeah.
that really yeah. like that's so fun, and I don't know why other people can't simply do that. No shade.
I mean,
Or
yeah.
be fans of like their other work. But like they do things for the public. Like they're fashion people for the public, they act for the public. Other things that they don't do for the public, I simply do not need to keep up on.
It's true. I mean, I do like remember like when we felt insane. It did feel like uncontrollable. Like how the fuck do I like uninsane myself?
Mm-hmm.
So maybe with those people they just like it's like genuinely not in their control. I will say I had to mute Hudson and Connor's their name in every variation you could possibly say their name, and I think that that helped me tremendously in like feeling like a normal person again, in case anyone wants to like feel normal, like still be like they're cool but like feel not insane.
Well, because also like the algorithm doesn't help, right? Like because
Yeah.
then you get inundated with it and you're like that's the only thing that you're getting, so of course you're going to be like in it. So what that
Yep.
does is help train your algorithm for like other content.
Mm-hmm.
And I guess like back in the day we didn't really have an algorithm like that, so we just like did it to ourselves. And like yeah. I think also I don't know about you, but like when I look back at some feelings and thoughts and sometimes ways that I acted that like now looking back were like so intensely parasocial. And like I feel like I learned some lessons from that. And I never did anything like super crazy. Like I wasn't hacking the cameras at um
The
the
airport.
the airport. That wasn't me, and I wasn't following people around. Well,
Oh my god, you just fucking told on yourself just then? That's crazy. You fell into your own trap. Wow. Well, I will say that I'm gonna have to go ahead and issue my apology to many people. One, to Danielle Peaser. I'm so fucking sorry. The way that I talked about you to my friends in different Facebook groups, I was
the
being a
Facebook.
hater. Yeah, the Facebook groups. I and probably on Twitter as well. I was being a fucking hating ass little bitch. I was 14. That being said, I was being a fucking hater. That being said, in those Facebook groups, people that would like defend Danielle, and I would be like, no, and get into arguments with them over who does or doesn't like Danielle. I'm sorry to those people in that group as well. I said some crazy ass shit. Not just about Danielle, about I'm sure a bunch of other shit that I don't even agree with anymore. I'm
Yeah.
coming out right now. The fandom shit is not worth like getting into arguments with people online. It's so not worth it. It's so not worth it.
But we were young. Like, I agree. It's so not worth it. I mean, fighting people on Tumblr constantly. But we were young, and when I think about it, I was getting into fights, like maybe not so much about One Direction, but I was like really into Sherlock and Doctor Who and like Marvel and all that and like Harry Potter. I was getting into fights with full-grown adults. Like people that who I could see on their Tumblr blogs were in their 20s and 30s, sometimes 40s, fighting with me, a 14, 15, 16-year-old on Tumblr. So I will say at least we weren't those adults getting into fights with children.
That's true. That's 100% true. So,
But also I'll issue an apology to Eleanor Calder. Eleanor
the
Calder.
only reason that she was everything to me was because I didn't have a crush on Louis and because I liked how she dressed. Like she was very inspiring
Well, she
to
was
me.
my style icon, but I still had to not like her.
No, if Eleanor was dating Liam, like if anybody was dating Liam, it was going to be a big problem for me. He was my everything. So,
Yeah. And I do hope that like the partners of Hudson and Connor and Francois or whoever like are not facing the same, because that was crazy. Because the way we were talking about Danielle and Eleanor and Perry as well, some girls were talking about Perry. Perry, I think, was more of
Haters.
a, yeah.
You know I'm a mixer, so I never
We've talked
hated
about
Perry.
this. I am a mixer as well. I always love Perry. Um, yeah, I hope that the people nowadays are not, but I'm sure it's even worse because the internet's actually worse than it was back then, and that's saying a lot.
Yeah, that's unfortunate. I'm glad to not be. Yeah, I hope that they're not dealing with that, and I'm glad to not be involved in that again.
I'm glad to not know, even.
Yeah, but like we said, like the parasocial like psychology of feeling insane is still in us. Like it's hard to like undo that.
I don't know that I ever will. I think I'll just get better at managing it.
Yeah, because like it's literally the internet and all these interviews and like the way that they're being managed and trained is so that people can be obsessed for like prolonged periods of time. So like it's not like anything is trying to help us not feel crazy.
No,
It's
it's
just making us feel
manufactured.
crazier.
Yeah.
Yeah. So,
I will say the fact that they are not super active themselves on social media, like you said, like with the lives or everything, is probably really good. Because that made us feel like the boys of One Direction were on Twitter, like tweeting, like that made us feel like, oh my God, we're in the same space as them. We're the same
yeah.
as them.
And they would
We
just
have
like
access.
randomly, yeah, and they would just randomly follow people and stuff like that. Like the reason why I had a Twitter account is because of One Direction, because I wanted them to follow me. I created a Twitter in like
Me
the
too.
ninth grade for this reason.
Yeah.
I don't have it anymore. Thank you to Elon Musk. I said I have to get the fuck out of here.
Same.
But no, literally. And I think like if well, I don't know. I'm older now, so I don't think if like Hudson and Connor were doing that, I would be. But I would probably like look for like clips or something. Like I would feel the FOMO of that. So I'm glad that they are kind of not doing all those lives and stuff.
Well, to be honest, like, and I don't want to get too into it maybe because it will start to feel weird. I don't know. Like when Hudson was active on Threads, I'm not super active on Threads. I just have it because my Instagram posts to there anyway, which probably isn't good. But um that almost made me like uncomfortable because I think because I saw so much of what happened with One Direction and also with like other fandoms, then I was like, I don't even want to be a part of this. I'm not like, I don't want to engage with this. I don't want to see this. And that sucks because like he's a person and he should be allowed to like have social media like the rest of us. Like he's literally like a guy in his 20s. Like if he wants to post on Threads or Instagram, like obviously he should be able to. But I just have like a reaction of like that's too close.
Yeah, I
And
think
like I'm not going to interact. But that's I think me like I don't know, doing like being like over exaggerating the issue just because of a past experience.
well, I think that's also like why at least I felt kind of insane because I felt overwhelmed about like what can happen in the future with Hudson and Connor because of like what I've seen in the past. Like I felt insane partially because I was just overwhelmed by
Yeah.
the potential in a bad way.
Yeah. And now I feel like I manifested all this.
No, we're not
Crazy.
manifesting that.
No.
We're not fucking manifesting that.
No.
But
But
yeah.
you were also, and I don't know if you want to talk about it, like more active in K-pop fan spaces than I ever was. And I feel like those are so particular and the relationships that fans have
Yeah.
with their idols, right? Or is that just J-pop? Or is K-pop also idols?
Yeah, they're both
Okay.
idols.
Okay.
Yeah. I absolutely. Especially when I first joined, I joined like the end of 2017. And that's another thing about fandoms. I feel for me like I feel like it's like a natural joining of these things and it just happens, but I also think it's always connected to like when I feel like super depressed. So I think that also
Yeah.
has like a hand in it. But yeah, I joined like I started liking BTS like at the end of 2017, which was the first semester of study abroad. So let's get into
Perfect.
that. So obviously, like, that made sense. But yeah, it was quite intense. I definitely, like, I didn't make any friends. I just kind of forced the friends that I had, not forced, but like I heavily influenced the friends that I had now to like become Army from the BTS fandom. So yeah, it was pretty intense. And like feeling like super overwhelmed when they would post stuff, and there's so much content. Oh my god. Like there's so much content of like them doing stuff for us, like for the fans, on top of them like just randomly doing lives or like randomly going on Twitter. Like I had my notifications on for if one of them went on live, and I had to be like in college and be like, okay, can I just listen to it in my headphones even though I can't speak Korean? Like it's like trying to like prioritize them, people that I don't fucking know, was really intense. And then like the fan wars, because at the time it was like BTS versus EXO, like people that liked BTS didn't like EXO and people that liked EXO didn't like BTS, and it was like for what reason I actually don't know. I think I was like kind of too late for the origins of like that story. But anyway, it was just a lot. And like spending money on the amount of shit that I spent money on, like the different CDs that were the exact same contents of CD, but like they looked different and they had different posters on the inside. So like, should I get more than one? Like just in case, like it was a lot.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I ended up like leaving the fandom because it was just a combination of like COVID happened, and so our like stadium tickets got canceled because their stadium tour left, and then also like I ended up dating people for the first time, and I think that really like helped me. Not that like it, because there's some people that are fans that are like married with kids and stuff, but like for me, finding people that like having like a romantic life of people that actually have a crush on me and I have a crush on them, like the mutual attraction, I think helped me kind of
Yeah.
leave that fandom. Because it just, the parasociality of like having a crush on Namjoon so severe that like I hope that we would get married, versus like having a crush on somebody that actually likes me for me and like knows who I am.
And like you actually know who they are.
Exactly. For me, that like healed something that I think was the reason why I was so intensely obsessed with BTS. And also like I left study abroad and I,
Yeah.
became less
Go
depressed.
listen to that episode.
Yeah. Where we had to cut out so much stuff. Yeah, but listen to that. Oh,
Yeah, I think that's like, yeah, filling your life with other things helps put the like parasocial stuff in perspective for sure. I mean, who knows who I would be right now? I like to think I would be the same, like if I wasn't in a relationship with all of it. But
yeah,
I do think like I've grown.
for sure. And I also want to say, like, I don't think that, like, being parasocial is, like, a terrible bad thing. Like, it's just kind of natural
Mm-mm.
to, like, want to like what somebody's doing and, like, want to know more about them. But, like, for anybody that feels insane about it, we're just talking about, like, how we,
Yeah.
yeah.
No, I think like obviously like so many people like I think like this idea of parasociality is like it's like a newer term that we put on this, right? But like this has happened for so long, and like being a fan of something or someone like that's just some people are just have that personality and they love being fans, and I think I'm one
Yeah.
of those people. And um you're always gonna have like maybe parasocial thoughts or feelings. Now this feels like therapy, but obviously for me where the line is like making it the person who you're having these thoughts and feelings about, like making it their problem and
Yeah.
posting online somewhere that they can see it and like tagging them in it or like whatever it may be. that is making it their problem. And like also the hive mind, like when one thing starts and then just like the spiral of like the fan hive mind is scary. So like yeah, of course like being a fan of someone is fun and you should
Yeah.
be. And
Yeah.
like we talked about it, like I love when I see Hudson in his little outfits.
Sure.
Then I'm like, look at you go.
Yeah, and I think like everything that I just said does not change the fact that like if Shane wasn't gay, we would be married. You know what I mean?
Well, I'm opening up my relationship for when Shane Hollander decides to.
When he makes the decision to like women. He hasn't decided that yet, but when he does,
Now that's the thing we're gonna get in trouble for saying.
Jane, we're just kidding. We just love you so much. He's lovable for sure, and so's Ilya.
Yeah,
But Shane they're different.
And I know you have a meeting in 8 minutes that you
Yes.
have to be at, so
Yes.
we can wrap it up. But I will say, loving your fic, loving Shane in your fic. Everyone's loving your fic.
Thank you.
So, yeah.
No, I struggle so much with writing because I know that it's not like the best that it can be, so I just don't want to release it or write any of it. But we always talk about this, like just let it be like not good and like release it because you can learn as you're going through. So one day, like when I get the confidence, I will release an actual book, but for now I'm just gonna finish this fanfic, and it's been fun. Making shit up. Just making shit up.
Just making shit up. And you've written so much, and it's so good.
Thank you.
I did share it in my weekly fanfic Rex. I didn't obviously say it was you because I didn't know if you want me to. But I put it in
I want
there.
to stay anonymous. Thank you, though.
Yeah.
Yes!
So.
I'm a part of the popular crowd these days. I'm moving on up. Like, I don't know what to say. Thank you.
Well, I love that. So, can't wait for it. I love it's so fun too, getting the notification in my inbox because I'm like, my famous friend, the author.
I didn't know people got like email notifications when it came up, so I actually
notifications.
screamed. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. It's
Love
one
it.
of
Yeah,
my
still-
favorite activities, checking my email.
Same, first of all. But yeah, still getting to know AO3 for what it is and what it isn't. And it is many things.
Maybe one episode we should like look at AO3 tags, like crazy AO3 tags. That
I'm
would be
screaming.
fun.
Yeah, that would be fun.
Some of them are wild. Okay, well this has been really fun.
Yes.
We got through a lot.
We did.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so
Okay. Well,
hold on. Do we want to do a moment in culture? We haven't really been doing them.
no, but I feel like we don't have time.
I have like 10 minutes.
You have 10 minutes?
Yeah, because she doesn't ever come online exactly at 4. It's usually like 4 something.
Okay.
So if we can like, yeah.
Did
Or
you
at least
the
do
last moment in
manifestations.
culture? I don't know. I forget.
I did Liam being afraid of spoons, and then you did one.
Did I do Little Brown Baby Shoes? Was that the last one?
No. That one was, I think that one, wasn't that the,
Oh, I did Mariah Carey and Nick Cannon's wedding.
I'm screaming. I'm fucking screaming. Okay, I have a I have a parasocial one that if
Well,
we
drop
want to get
it.
into parasociality, do you remember the Naked Brothers band?
Nat and Alex Wolf.
Let's get into it.
You know, I wasn't, like, we didn't have cable. I would have to go to my friend's
yeah.
houses to watch TV. And you know, there was, like, 3 shows that I always had to be at their house to watch. And it was Naked Brothers Band, Hannah Montana and Avatar: The Last Airbender.
I'm screaming. Yeah, so I was a Nat girl, obviously. What the hell? Oh,
That
no,
was the
no
only-
shade to Alex, but right. And once again saying my apologies because the girl that Nat Wolf was with in the show, I hated her so much because I was so fucking jealous of her.
Right.
And recently I saw her in Temptation Island. She was one of the girls, one of like the you know, like when the girls come up, like she wasn't in a couple. She was one of the girls to like tempt, one of the temptresses. And I saw her and I was like, oh my god, it's you. And I just felt so much like, maybe because it was like out of guilt, but like whenever
Right.
she would come on screen, I'd be like, that is sister. Even though at one point she was my number one enemy, but that's because I was a hater at like 9 years old or whatever. But
No,
yeah,
for sure.
no, their music was good. Didn't they sing with Natasha Bedingfield?
I don't remember.
And I think they also did a song for like Obama. Yes, we can. Wasn't that with Natasha?
That
I don't remember.
I have to look it up. I don't know.
But yeah. Yes, we can.
I just remember they did like a original movie, right? Did they have a
Probably.
movie?
Probably.
Yeah. Oh god, I had such a crush on them.
Yeah.
Also on that. But yeah,
They were everything. So,
their style, what a time. And the fact that even now today, they seem like they're still good people.
yeah, that's crazy to like still be seeing them around, like online. And
I mean,
isn't
like,
Nat dating Billie Eilish?
Literally.
Good for her. Good for him.
No, I'm obsessed with them.
I love that.
And like he was in the John Green movies, and you know I love John Green. I can't wait for John Green's new book. Wow.
I haven't seen any of those movies, I don't think, but I have read John Green books. I read Looking for Alaska, and I read Will Grayson.
Oh, Will Grayson.
Yeah. So,
I think
anyway.
yeah. They're so everything.
Yeah.
The Naked Brothers Band. Why does it only have a 3.6 on IMDb?
Lame as hell.
Someone's got
No,
to
they look like
fix
babies.
that.
That's great. I forgot what the premise even the fuck was for this bullshit.
What was it?
It doesn't even, it's a mockumentary that follows the band's daily life. I don't remember that.
Yeah, I could not tell you a single thing. Oh, is Ali Demeco the one that? First of all, her Wikipedia picture is everything.
She was everything. Like, she was actually so gorge, and she looks the same now.
That is amazing.
No, I was such a hater. I remember because didn't they like break up and they got back together in the show, and they
think
showed
so.
like a tabloid cover of a magazine of like her dating someone else or something. And I believed that whole thing. I sat because I was a child. I believed 2005. I believed that whole entire thing.
No, now that you say that, like Naked Brothers Band and Hannah Montana, like those were real people, and the show was their real lives.
Right.
Like, especially because it really felt like, okay, these are two brothers in a band. Or like Miley Cyrus, like Hannah Montana, Miley Cyrus.
I think that one was less believable for me. Maybe because like in the first episode it was Corbin Blue. Like But
Sure.
yeah.
For me, it was her real dad playing her dad.
No, that
I
was
like,
everything.
This is right, Billy Ray. Whoa.
Right. Yeah. And Dolly Parton as like her grandma or whatever. Or her godmother.
Her godmother. They
Love
don't
that.
make shows like that anymore. They don't make shows like Naked Brothers Band.
Nope. No.
Mm-mm. It's such a
So-
shame.
I know.
But thank you for bringing it up.
Well, you're welcome.
Amazing. Wow. So fun.
Yeah. And for manifestations, I want to manifest both of us to have a great 29th. Or are we in our 30th year? Or is this 29th year? We did 29.
We're in our 30th year.
I hope we have great 30th years. That's my manifestation.
Me too. We're going to have great 30th years.
I hope so.
Okay. Well, I'll tell you happy birthday tomorrow. I won't jinx it.
Thank you.
Okay. See you next Tuesday.
Okay. Bye.
Bye.